Alright, I have no idea what the hell I'm in for this game. All I know is that it's good, and that's about it. Like, that's literally it. Yeah. Kind of nervous, honestly. I remember seeing trailers for this game when it first came out in 2013, but not understanding and not really getting it because I remember I thought about getting it back then, but uh, well, I never did. And probably because I was kind of crazy because I feel like it's gonna be like I'm gonna fuck with my head. I think I probably will, but um, yeah. Give me just one moment to get started so I can post the link places and. Is it Ultra Deluxe Edition? I think it is. Yes. All right. Just one moment. Let me just let my cat outside. It's okay. Okay. There we go. Let me just pop it up quick. There we go. No. The computer is barely visible. Okay. The current time. Oh, okay. It is currently 8:55 p.m. Node accessibility setting. Okay. Oh, that is trippy already. All right, here we go. The end is never there yet. Oh God.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-eating, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, crouch. Okay. What does it say? Recommendations from the Oversight Committee. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Who farted? Wasn't me. Okay, can I change the sensitivity on that? Yeah. It's really low. There we go, that's somewhat better. I like work. I just hate my boss. What did that say? Something mile? I don't know. My eyes. Okay. Where's number 420? Why is there no number 420? I was hoping to make a joke there, but never mind. Okay. Oh. Man, I hate Mondays, yeah. What? This does not make sense. What does it say? Mark? I can barely read. Is that like a Zoom button or something? What? Keyboard clicks? Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No, we're to the right. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Okay. Oh, I can open doors?
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Let's go this way. Shit, I don't know what I want to do. They both look equally enticing. That one looks more enticing, but this one also looks enticing, but fuck it.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Big button.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Alright.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see, we went down right, left, down,
Can't jump. No, seriously, we disabled it.
Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Oh, that's funny. Sir? That was a funny trophy. You can't jump. Just after pressing X so many times. No, seriously, we disabled it. Uh-oh.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
No, I'll try to find my number.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you
I don't fucking know.
Story somewhere, or Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Oh, so many options. If one I could jump. Oh, that's the same room. Okay. It's all connected? I think they're all connected. Damn it. The doors are staying open.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game
No.
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
No, don't. Oh, you motherfucker.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
I mean, can't you just make there be two doors now? Like there were before? I mean, you clearly have that kind of control. Surname X. access? I wasn't on screen before. I don't think that those doors were open either. Oh, there's 420. Yeah.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story.
All right.
Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
It's gonna be different. Yep. Oh, what the hell?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time.
It's like when the actual plane can control.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Ah, solitaire.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay, now if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on, that got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
You know, I did, yeah. Ah, jeez. I got distracted by my own thought and got scared by the music. What the fuck? Okay. Okay, it's a bit loud. What? Alright. Me too. I was like, the move's blurred. Man, what the hell? I don't trust that. Oh my god, can the music stop? Seriously? Jesus Christ. Who the hell is 432? Why do you have so many peer reviews? Is this a bad thing that they have so many, or is it a good thing? God. Like, He's gonna be famous, or maybe he really wants people to have opinions on him.
Wait, cut the music. Go
Thank
back
God.
and look at that fern.
Fern. This?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely. Carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay. Interesting.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
What? The line's gone. It stops at that point. What the fuck? But what? Wait. Oh. What? What? Is that a glitch? That, I don't think that's supposed to happen. Did I just break the game? Shit, what? What the fuck did I just do? Oh my god. I definitely broke. Okay, yep, I broke the game. Alright. Alrighty then. Yeah, let's just restart.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
How the mighty have fallen.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
That's a different line. Okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
No.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see, we went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way. No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to go back to
427.
Who am I kidding? It's all
There's me. I see it.
The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to
That's not my
salvage this
office.
nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
234. 234's number was,
All of his co-workers
not there.
were gone.
It was like a different
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
partition cord. To 6 years.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Well, I need to fucking talk to my friend about this. Hold on. I forgot which way I went. I don't think it was that way, no. Well...
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot.
No, I'm making progress.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What? just a sharpener? Okay. Do I hear a sound? I swear I heard something. Is it this machine? I think it is. Okay.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from.
This is like a liminal space. This is like part of the back rooms, I bet. This really reminds me of the back rooms. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if this part of the back rooms like lower or something.
I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Yay.
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that? You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay, now if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood. Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything. Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Okay, don't go back that way. Because that's how I broke the game, I think. Okay.
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart. You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction? Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley,
Superhero thing.
I'm ready for it.
How about a psychological thriller? Or something scary?
Not you again.
What?
Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story.
Okay,
No
the
lines or
line.
monitor rooms. Just don't
Okay.
acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
It's the end. I guess the line could be the villain.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us?
Probably not.
So, okay. I guess now we just wait, you know. I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Oh. What the... okay. Okay. So creepy.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his
So that was
co-workers.
was that actually an ending I just got, or? I mean, it wasn't a trophy for us. I'm assuming it wasn't. Fine. Oh God.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace, its subtle charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No. A4.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Do not lie. If you're lying right now, stop. Okay. Oh, it's a key card. Do not jump from the cargo lift while in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off cargo lift, $5,000. Okay. The line. Vent access for trained employees only. Sus.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Don't be sorry. Don't you do it. 2B1, okay. 2B3. 2B5, 2B4.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
What does the red pill mean in Matrix again? I forgot. I think red pill was blue pill was the one where he goes back to Matrix again, but the red pill was going to reality, I think. So I wait. No, yeah, red one.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Don't you do it? Oh, okay. I thought I was going to restart the game. I was like, don't you do it. Oh God, there's so many. There's two choices again. And do they both lead to a void? They sure do. Okay. What?
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Where the fuck am I?
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
What
If
the
we
hell?
just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
It is beautiful. Whoa. As pretty as this is, I want to move on.
No, wait. Where are you going?
What the hell?
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
He sounds like Stephen Grant from fucking
Please,
Moon
no,
Knight.
Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
What?
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing. No! Oh, thank God.
Ow.
You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
Oh, fine.
There. See? This is what you want. This
I
is
mean,
where
it's
we can
pretty,
both
but
be happy. We really can. If we
I don't
stop
wanna
moving, we just have to stop moving.
Oh my god. As pretty as this is.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
And as pretty and beautiful as it is, I don't want to be there for eternity.
No. No, no, what are you doing? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game?
No.
You'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
I fucking feel bad.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
Oh my fucking
I
god.
just wanted us to get along. But I get you actually want to stay alive. Or are you just teasing me?
Oh my god, fuck! But like... it's boring! It's pretty, but it's boring over there. Like, nothing else can happen there. I mean, narrator, you know you can restart this, like, by command, right?
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Well, that's fucking sad. Is that actually... It is the time, huh? Wait, no. Wait, no, is it? No. That's not the time. What? No. I mean, it's almost the right time, but I don't know.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Well, the line's gone.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm fine.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Employee 417, 05, 91, 16, 31, and then just Jim. Tomorrow complete today's unfinished agenda items, right? Next day's agenda, refleet. Okay. Future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. Targets push for funding. Push. Wait, what? Push for funding. Oh my God! Stop. Push for funding for R&D. Okay, can I turn that shit off? What? What? Pollution. That's a dream. Mitosis? Metamorphosis? Alright, what? What? Okay. Wait, let it bubble up inside you. Push for funding for R&D of new coffee machine. Standardized graphs for not cost efficient. Okay, Chris at the broom closet. Standardize papers. Hire someone to standardize papers. Papers are too standardized. Fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets on the topic of blurred. Tomorrow, yeah, okay. Jesus Christ, speaking for 400 something. Cabal planning. Targets administration, marketing Mondays. This box is too small. 40X. Tuesday, termination Tuesdays. Office efficiency, legal. It's underlined question mark. Then oh yeah, that one is a question mark. 451's private time. Okay. Group 41946. Okay. IT department. We're broke Wednesdays. That's a fucking mood. Financial panic meeting. Bosses inspector. Oh no. Group 42X, Group 47X, 8bird. Thursday. But something mergers. Ideas plus development. Pre-review of weekend review? Weekly review. Pranking floors meeting? What to do about 432? Oh no. Don't tell 432 about the meeting. In parentheses. Office party. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Rest in peace, France. Okay. Bike quarterly post review. We need we need less reviews. 402 plus 405 want to get rid of the quote death sport portion in the primary reviews. What? But I think that's a stupid idea. More water coolers. More water cooler heaters. Charts need to be more hip to appeal to the teenage demographic. Find teenagers to put in the teenage demographic. Big net? Some sort of child trap? What? The teenagers. Size of demographics. Space between the teenagers. A lot of percent. Throw something in the ideas bin. 10 no more idea bin? 10 no more bins. Trash cans 20 remaining of the ideas bin. What? 30 firing of me? What? Ideas bin. Alright. What do people want? Themes. Happy feelings. Violet James, you are fired. Okay. Money. More money. Things, but with money to buy more things. Graphs? Graphs about things and money. We have our new product. The stock market is somewhere here. Color and segment. Stripes. Requires more secondary research for stripes? What is hot? A teenage target demographic. Teenagers. What is hot? Profit. Okay. Profits and then profits. Profits. Question mark. Okay. City of standardized core value expeditures. Shift to global market paradigm? Maybe? Monetize free to play. A pie chart. Top priority. Okay. Chris, you in here?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What the fuck? What's down here? Why is it red? Alright. What did I say? Hi, Lenny. I write this in first period and left it in your locker on the way to second. It's a what? It's what all the cool kids are doing. I've decided, the cool kids are doing, I've decided, work our back? Work our back, something, here's an idea for something, I don't know, something high dread? The cat's on a motorcycle. Hey, this is what? Hey, this is a god? I think this is. Alright, this is a god, something, what all... I think this is a god, something, god... Okay, I don't want to fuck it now.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Yeah, I was wondering about that. That's the first thing I always do in first-person games, honestly.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it.
I'm in that video game.
Dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
Yeah, it trippy, isn't it?
All very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams. The truth was that, of course, this was not
That's like an SCP right there.
How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Right.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
What?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Did she get her bag at least? What? Okay, I guess that was an ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What if I actually go to the boss this time? Don't scare me.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh, no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
I am Chris.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ooh. Exit bathroom. Whoa. Ooh. What? Alright. Time magazine, that's funny. Extreme bathrooms. The beige pages. Business time. Are hostile takeovers a new biannual percentage? I don't fucking know. I'm not a businessman. What? 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 Business strategy? Leave the panda alone. What the fuck is he doing wrong? Why are you aiming a gun at him? That poor thing. What the fuck? I am the most expensive boss. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him.
Right, give me a moment. I'll be right back. Oh my god, hi. I know, right?
And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Get in your box. Let's see, sewage lilies by Claude Money? Okay. Carte Blanche et Mont Blanc is French, okay. Yes, hi, Esme. Esme, what are you doing?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay. Esme, oh my god. If you out of the closet door, I swear to God.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Wow. I don't know if I trust that.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the
Oh, what's
strength
this
to
room?
find out?
employee observation protocol to see if something adherence, despite adherence to protocol 2A and protocol 2B, an employee leaves. If an employee leaves the office during work hours and a system loop, system loop has failed. Oh my god! You just got in here. Okay. Back at it. Sorry for the wait. Okay. So if an employee leaves the office during work hours and a system loop has failed, you must terminate. Please note that employee 452 is a test case, while the need for protocol 2A may seem unlikely. Procedure 2A and 2C need not apply. In the event of 432 attempting to leave the office, 432. Oh, no, yeah, 432, not 52. Under 432 attempting to leave the office, contact supervisor, and then contact 432 prize pool. Prize pool? Okay. 432 is a peer review person. It has all those peer reviews on them, right? 3A, if monitoring screen fails to initialize contact maintenance, it does initialize contact maintenance and temporarily switch control over to desk screen. 4A, in the case of a class 4 event, close system gates and consult with supervisor. 4B, in the case of a class 3 event, close system gates and consult with supervisor. Prime your consoles for info dump. Oh, Jesus. Date.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers, the lives of Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Urgent employees should never, under any circumstances, attempt. Okay. It said 432, right? Yeah, 432. Well, they're down there. Who's the one up there? I think it's 232. No, 234. Wait, 234, 432. They're the same numbers, just backwards. Huh.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Then what happened to change it?
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control.
What?
Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery wouldn't...
Here it is, making anymore.
never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Where's 4? Oh, it's up there. I think. Never mind, I can't go up there. That's 3. Where's 4? Is that actually it up there? No, it is. I just don't know. I just can't get up there. Are those numbers codes I can use? But there's no, I mean, there's no zeros. There's no zero button. What? There's just between Austria and Poland, Austria, Hungary? What? Five, two, one. I know where 5 is. There's no zero button now. Okay. Wait, that's a power button. I see the power symbol on there. But that doesn't have a symbol on it. What? I'm not meant to solve this right now. Hey, there's a triangle on it. What the fuck? Okay, what other red buttons are there? And also the triangle. Triangle. Oh, the power button. I guess maybe I should solve this later, I guess. Well. Okay, I thought maybe I just fly those, but those red lights have something on there. Okay.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
No.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know.
What the really? European countryside or something?
The only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
What? So that was the end, okay. That was the ending. Okay, but... Well, and it was a ending, but... There was so much...
Co-workers were gone.
Yeah, there's so much I haven't done yet, though.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
What?
She's been waiting.
What the fuck are you talking about?
That's
what?
her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her.
Who?
If
What?
you can truly place your faith in another, then... Oh, no, you can't... Did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Put a
Can't
cigarette in
believe
there.
I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
What?
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real.
What?
Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
What?
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process.
Rupert,
Most
come
medical
on.
professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Alright.
Welcome
Oh my
back.
god.
You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction.
Danger, danger everywhere.
Not
Oh
to
my, what the
worry. Now that
fuck?
you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
What the fuck? Alright. Can I go in here?
Now that we know your choices are meaningful,
Oh,
we
you
can't have
bastard.
you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine
Well.
the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all.
You
We just need to get you home as soon
motherfucker.
as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
What? Right. This? Okay, now.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Yeah, I mean, that's true because I saw it, but...
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry
Oh,
back in the other
Jesus
direction, perhaps we're not
Christ.
too late. ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Oh. Wow, what the fuck?
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. Thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer.
No, you motherfucker. Just fucking locked the broom closet. Bastard.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his
You
boss's
son
office.
of a bitch. Oh, you motherfucker. That's not it. That's not it, Chief. The painting's gone.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human
This
life.
is a different office.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115.
What?
Was this the code to open the door? Would it still
Night
work?
Shark
There was only
115?
one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Shark 195. Shark 195.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark.
There's no speak
115.
button.
He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Shark 195. I can't. There's no speak button.
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
Yes.
You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
I don't know what you want me to do, man. Shark 195.
Okay, fine, you're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You...
When Stanley came to a set of two
What the fuck?
Stanley? Stanley, please. I need you to walk
The
through
end.
the door. Are you
Huh?
listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything
What?
all right? Stanley, this is important.
What the
The
fuck?
story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that
No
step
way.
forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice.
Valve, I knew it.
That's
That
all.
was like a Half-Life
All
character
for you
model.
to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Wow.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
That wasn't red subtitles.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I never played the original, so...
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, different
As
voice.
you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable,
More
delighting audiences the world over.
More smiley face game.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, here we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Alright.
I have to to say initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe mostly tedious. It's as if... okay, let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's see.
The jump.
The jump circle?
Yo! He brought in the jump button. Aww.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not
I think that was
positive.
fun.
It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes.
All right.
I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for playing the alternate cap. That's it.
That's it?
Oh, that's
You've got to
funny.
be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Is that really it? Are you serious? Oh, what the fuck? This is very different. Oh, that's where it should be.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Sunset. What's up here, though? I'm curious. No. I don't want to go to the back rooms. Say, Stanley, have you heard of a game called Among Us? We're being pretty sus right now.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Whoa.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Alright.
You see,
So
Stanley,
sweet
doesn't the
sound.
memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port?
Pressurized
Remember
gas.
back in October of 2013 when the game originally
Pressurized
launched? Back
gas.
then,
Game.
video
That's
games
fucking
had integrity.
hilarious.
Back then, it all meant
Oh
something.
man.
Oh, the waste.
Is that in Russia? Russian? It is in Russian. Pressurized gas. 2013 when the Stanley Parable was released. Oh man. Time. Indoors monthly. Shapes. Crafts. National Geographic. Just the actual thing. Cargo. Operator's manual. Your comprehensive resource for the seen. Okay. Stanley Parable Collector's Edition. No. There was a thing for that? 2014 Independent Games Festival. Okay. Ah. British Academy of Film and Television Arts awarded to something Stanley Parable. The Last of Us. The Last of Us in the category story. I love that. Specifically E3 this 2020 when Last of Us won every single fucking award of the planet. First kiss on my car. My first car. The release of Stanley Parable in 2013. Narrator. By the narrator 2013. 2013. The hell is that guy? I remember. The Memory Zone Temp. Yeah, there's me. The original remake. Final pressurized gas. Link was at NY 15,000 ultra conserved words in the Washington Post. Research identified 2,000 words whose sound. Okay. It's 6 components of a great corporate culture. John Coleman, Harvard Business Review. Business bloggers. Harvard Business Review. It's also a variety of topics. Okay. Mozilla Firefox start page. Okay. A Galactic Cafe game. Okay. Because it happened. Who's that? Bits of music from the Stanley Parable. Was that an actual thing they did? $1. Unachievable. It is impossible to get this achievement. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. Touch grass. Alright, that's me. That's dead on the pavement. Deal with tough choices. Little Stanley! Oh no!
Je suis dans la mémorisation, seul sur la pluie et l'eau, et je n'attends plus que toi.
There's a piano over there.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Comparisons, too, are going to be wrong, woefully inadequate. Perhaps the closest cousin would be Dear Esther. But where Dear Esther wastes the form of interactive entertainment, Stanley Parable uses an subverted, where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art. Stanley Parable strives and succeeds. Beat every game ever created. Even so, holding the game to the standard of any other title said it's simply not going to be correct. So how do you review what has become the Stanley Parable HD, the full-scale reimagining of one of the most intriguing mods available online? How do you discuss it and how to recommend it? It's quite simple. You don't. Okay. Backwards. Minecraft! This is Minecraft, okay. Oh, man. That's Portal. Knowing the city, what? Before you can possibly know where to begin your new street vending operation, you first have to get to know your city. I'll use Georgetown as an example in this book, but in order to really get the knowledge, it's best to go explore. Just a blank sheet of paper, okay. I remember. It's Stanley. From Scott, for Scott K. Who? Alright.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Literally anything. What they can do inside them. Your game is very good. No, they can't do anything. Literally anything. Alright. No, I can't enter that room. Where am I to go?
These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web.
I think it's funny. What do you think, Esme?
Insights that I can't even imagine where
I know,
I'm
right?
going to stick them.
Uh-oh.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a faultless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place.
I don't think they
I guess
can.
I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30,
Oh my
45
god.
minutes. It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much
Okay,
I
I'm
can
actually getting
ramble
bored
on
of
to
this
myself
now.
about. I know. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie 9's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're
Oh,
back. Oh, my
what the
goodness.
fuck?
I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed... Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about it.
He's dead. The narrator's dead.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was
Oh
meant to
my
speak to the
God.
human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of...
Get me out of this, please. I'm actually tired. I don't know how much I can take of this.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
What the fuck? Oh my god, I can finally get the fuck out of here. Well, not yet, but... Oh my god. No. Come the fuck on. The fuck? Oh. Oh my god, finally. Oh my god. How long has it been? Jesus, the world fucking ended. Holy shit.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
How long have I been streaming? 2 hours. Jesus Christ. Do I really want this?
Oh, good. You notice my sign.
Oh my
yes,
god.
I have something very exciting to show you.
Alright, that doesn't have so I'm really fucking tired of this game. I wanna fucking...
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
I'm gonna be
Which is
mega
why
deluxe.
I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
What?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Another cup. Space is a blurry room. Oh man, new bug. Jesus. What does the paper say? Is it a crossword puzzle? I don't know. It doesn't make me think of Dying Light 2, honestly. With the big red 2. New hotness. Old busted. Oh, this is the very room that we're in. They're back 2 doors. Don't talk to me before I've had my sequel. More TSP, better TSP. Stanley Parable. Paradigm shift synergy. A brick and mortar approach. And envelope client-centric marketing. The color red. Leverage holistic value 1 to 2. Win-win 1 2 2 1 2. The sequential mid. Oh, mind share. Okay. Concept art. E. The shrub. One of those not even doing anything.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
The sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum 2, City, Divinity Original Sin 2, Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar, Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 was good. Dark Souls 2 was fucking amazing. This way to the show floor. What the fuck is the water boat?
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
The reassurance bucket? Oh, that's the button that says the name of the player that's playing the game. That's a new name. Hear your name in the game. Paper.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Oh, so it's going to say my name.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you roleplay as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it.
Hello, I am Jim.
Here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Wow,
Do you
that's
feel
not
it deeply?
what I really want.
Are you really, truly Jim right now?
I feel like Jim.
If so, then please step forward and press the button. Jim. Yes, you see.
It's me.
What a thrill.
It's
What a
me.
rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
It's me.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Jim.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Oh, QR code. Let's scan it. Wait. Is it actually a sequel being made? No fucking way. What's the video say? Oh, that's...
See there, Jimmy.
It's a 10-minute video. Oh my god.
Enjoying. Why? It's breakfast, of course. Everyone loves breakfast. But did you know that breakfast is getting a sequel? That's right.
It's called Lunch.
It's called Lunch. And
What?
critics believe that Lunch will be everything breakfast was and more. With a little luck, we may even get a trilogy series out of it.
With dinner.
You know what a sequel is, don't you, Timmy? Why? Sequels are the world's way of clinging helplessly to the past. We all want more of the things we love, and we're all afraid of change, which is what makes sequels so popular. New ideas are dangerous, Timmy, and they can lead to early aging. This eager-minded young thinker is just 29 years old. That's why we have sequels.
What?
To keep us couched in the familiar and the comfortable. Sequels are the bedrock of a healthy, functional society. And if you look around you, you'll find them everywhere you go. For instance, this man is developing a sequel to the automobile, which we'll call the vertical automobile.
The plane?
This impractical invention. And in 2 days' time, the man will be publicly stoned to death for his crimes against gravity.
What?
Sequels are heretical nonsense, however.
Did that actually happen? Did the White Brothers get stoned to death?
Which is the sequel to suffocating and dying a slow death.
Wait. What was that?
Time, the man will be publicly stoned to death for his crimes against gravity. Not all sequels are heretical nonsense, however. Here's the man who invented breathing, which is the sequel to suffocating and dying a slow death. Even your parents...
Breathing wasn't invented.
Their names are Rob and Jessica, and they'll be taking care of you once your original parents are sent back in time to fight a secret war for the government.
What?
Sequels can be very fashionable. This young woman is wearing 5 shirts at once, which is the sequel to wearing 4 shirts at once. Look at Becky over there, wearing only 2 shirts at once. Get with the times, Becky. In
Poor
fact,
Becky.
there is only one single thing in the world that isn't a sequel. It's this. We don't know what it is or why it exists.
What the
but it's
fuck
the
is that?
prequel from which all sequels are derived. And just like everything else, the Stanley Parable is getting a sequel too. We all know, of course, that it was your favorite game as a child. Don't you remember those long, lazy afternoons?
I didn't play at the age of 13 when it came out, unfortunately.
Watching your precious youth fritter away hour after hour. We've all wasted our childhoods in one way or another, and you were fortunate enough to get to waste yours on the Stanley Parable. But the Stanley Parable came out years ago, and you're not a child anymore. You're a man, which is like the sequel to a child.
Wouldn't it be teenager though? Then adult?
You need a man's video game, Timmy. And that's why the Stanley Parable 2 will be perfect for you. It's as manly as video games can get. And if you don't...
Oh, I know that animator.
Let's look at the burly hunk of a man who's responsible.
I know that art style anywhere.
Here he is, hard at work.
I don't remember his name, but I know the guy.
Gregory Apex, and he's the cutting picture of raw, virile masculinity. Gregory's what we call the ideas guy, and he has the most important role on the team. The ideas guy tirelessly comes up with interesting concepts.
Oh, what the fuck? I just noticed that over there.
For the relatively simple job of turning those concepts into reality. For example, he's the one who picked up the phone and declared, "Someone ought to make a sequel to the Stanley Parable." Good work, Gregory. Go ahead and take the rest of the day off. With the hard part out of the way, work on the game can now begin. The game's developers must answer a simple question. What makes a sequel in the first place? Well, it's simple. Sequels are an opportunity to correct the mistakes of their predecessors. We've all made mistakes, and we've all...
I mean, not really. I wouldn't say that.
In order to cover up
Just get to be continuations of the story.
When developing this particular sequel, it's important to start by thinking, what mistakes did the original Stanley Parable make? Well, first off, most of the pornography in the original game was stolen or pirated, and it's time we paid the licensing fees fair and square.
Pornography?
Second, the Stanley Parable was catastrophic for this man named Leroy, whose personal information, including home address, social security number, and bank information, were all displayed prominently in multiple locations throughout the game. Although Leroy's money and identity were stolen, the fact remains that his personal information was the emotional core of the game, and absolutely vital to a nuanced understanding of the story. As reparation for the harm we caused him, the sequel will contain a brief and insincere apology to Leroy, tucked deep within the game where it will be difficult to find. Finally, the Stanley Parable made the mistake of leaking too many government secrets about the nature of the Time Wars. Without these intricate details of specific military tactics, the story is likely to make very little sense. But we've decided to remove them from the sequel in the interest of helping the state's efforts. We'll get to you yet, Time Dracula. Now then, it's time to set about constructing the Stanley Parable 2. Game development is a difficult and complex art, one which can only be fully understood by this race of hyper-intelligent child soldiers bred in laboratories. They begin by studying the original Stanley Parable. Here it is in its raw, untouched form, a specimen of technological perfection. Time to exploit it for profit. We begin by adding jokes. The Stanley Parable was most widely known for its stark lack of humor, bucking all conventional industry wisdom. It was a bold artist statement that its developers stood firmly
I can't believe I'm
behind.
watching this whole fucking
But
video.
in 2022, it's impossible to reach even a single consumer of video games without jokes of some kind. So very well, jokes it'll be. During its development, over 500 kiloliters of comedy will be funneled directly into the core of the Stanley Parable 2, creating jobs for hundreds of machine operators and producing 30,000 tons of pollutant chemical byproduct, which will be pumped directly into local lakes, rivers, and beautiful nature reserves like these all over the country. Another common complaint of the Stanley Parable is that there wasn't enough gameplay. And so for the sequel, its developers have gone to great lengths to fix this problem.
I'm beginning a whole RPG.
Printed onto sheets. Every video game contains as many as 1,000 sheets of gameplay, and several of the largest games ever made contain close to 1,500. On mobile devices, the gameplay sheets have to be printed smaller.
For the Stanley Parable 2, as many as 35 new gameplay sheets are being printed, each of which must be delicately massaged by the hands of a child before being added into the game.
What?
This man is stealing gameplay sheets from the factory, which he likely intends to use for a personal project he's been developing in his spare time. A good public stoning will cure him of that inclination.
What?
Let's check on Gregory real quick.
Why is public stoning
still recovering
like...
from a hard day's work. Don't you move a muscle. Next up,
What?
it's time to blackmail the press. In a competitive
What?
market, blackmailing your local journalist can be one of the most effective methods of creating word-of-mouth buzz for your sequel.
What?
In fact, blackmail is the currency of social progress.
What?
Neighborhood grocer to the teacher at your school to the man who helps you steal HBO. Everyone responds to blackmail. And if you've never done it before, it's easy to practice at home on your friends and family. Simply follow the instructional pamphlet that your teacher hands out after the end of the film. And finally, there's one last tool at our disposal for making the sequel feel fresh and exciting. And that's packaging the game with
We're gonna pamphlet on fucking how to blackmail people.
If you order the Stanley Parable 2, you'll receive this cow's egg. A single egg will produce over 1,000 cows.
What?
Or, of course, the sequel to pigs. And there you have it. Everything there is to know about
Cow's
producing
egg.
the Stanley Parable 2. Of course, you may know that there is also a game titled The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. So which game is the true sequel to the Stanley Parable? It's an excellent question, Billy. One which the child soldiers have been working round the clock to come up with an answer to. And after many weeks of diligent research, the conclusion they've reached is, who gives a shit? All that matters is that it's more content for you to cram down your insatiable gullet. You don't want thoughtful and nuanced answers to complex questions, Billy. You just want to eat bubblegum and cheated hopscotch. So get out there and consume. Do your civic duty and bully your parents into buying you every version of the Stanley Parable 2 on every platform. Tell your friends to bully their parents as well. It's through community efforts like these that the world comes together in harmony and connection. And it's only through this connection that we'll defeat Time Dracula once and for all. Don't let the time-traveling vampires win. Buy the Stanley Parable 2 and pledge to support all sequels for today, tomorrow, and into the great unknowable beyond.
What? Okay. Billy, 1953, 1956? What? What? He was 3 years old? The fuck? That was a fucking journey. This game is so fucking wild. Oh my god. I can't do watch that whole fucking thing. Who gives a shit? Reassurance bucket. Wait. Infinite hole? Huh? Okay, I want to see what the reassurance bucket is, though.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration,
Where's the bucket?
I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long
there
as
it
you
is.
hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
The fuck?
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
I like to agree
The
with
benefits
that.
of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more awaits you in the Stanley Parable.
Can I keep it? This is my second cup. Okay, but that laugh though.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
They
There
should.
really should be an award if it isn't already.
That's an office? I thought I said red is a new cringe. Maybe he's all grown up. Bankruptcy. Reap the results. Well, nothing happened. I got taken a screenshot. Alright. And that's new. I can't believe it's that simple. Free trophy. Did you just find out? Pull the lever for receiving a trophy. No more stuff. It works. It just works.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist.
Bruh.
Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Wait, is it actually a thing that happened in the PSE version or something? There's actually a trophy that's like that? I really have to keep the bucket.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Oh my god, there's so much. Oh, this is a lower level too. Oh my gosh. Five, this map. Okay, trophy. The button that says, okay, got that. Jump circle. Alright, merch, saw that. Oh, settings, world champion?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Oh. Stephanie is okay.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, Stepniece, it is.
Alright. Alright.
Actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
What? Depth infinite. More. It just keeps going.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall
I don't know if I want to do
of
that.
time if you
I don't think I want
a stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I don't think I really want to do this. Here I go.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Why is that?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely?
I really don't.
I figured
So,
the hole was
I
as
want to
deep
get out
as
of here.
anyone
Get me out of
would
here.
actually
Get me out of
need.
here.
Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
I didn't
Why
say
don't we
anything.
just put all this behind us and agree to just call the whole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Alright.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic. You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Alright. Okay, actions in the hall, office record. The only thing now I have to do is epilogue and settings world champion. That's up here. I don't know how to get up top. Oh, it's right there. The stairs. Oh.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Alright. Settings World Championship. Mostly available. Fine, it ended. Well, they're already pretty simple. Are you serious? Alright, I guess that's it.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to?
Yeah,
Ready to move on now?
this. Like how he's still very polygonal.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear
I like the
yet how
bucket.
exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes.
Yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh. Ooh. Whoa, that's actually kind of trippy.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-eating, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh my god. The sequel's now paused. Oh my god, I'm actually kind of tired.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door of his left.
I love that visual.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion. And life... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
All right. Okay, I think I'm actually getting bored of this. Wait. Oh, fuck. I think I fucked up. Yep, I did. Alright, well... I think I'm done for this game for now, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and just... It's been 3 fucking hours. Oh my god. This game is... I don't know, it's something. I don't really know what I expected. It's drained me. It's just fucking drained me. Alright, I'm gonna fucking end this stream now before I fucking lose my mind. Alright, good night, all.